Yo, 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 what's going on? It's the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuyapi, and I'm back with the homies. You'll see him in just a second. We are back with our Disney Plus recaps of the amazing Marvel Studios What If. This particular episode, we are checking out episode 7, What If Thor Were an Only Child. Check out the trailer, and then I'll be back with the homies. Here we go. The trailer for What If Thor Was an Only Child.
That's the moment that created a new universe.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Slow down a little bit. There's a few people in the room that don't understand. Not me, I get it.
Why stop at one hero? Great idea. If time and reality are a construct, what if we could rebuild it? When we can show you all of them. Oh! What if? Only on Disney Plus.
Boom, there you go. The trailer for What If Thor Were an Only Child. I'm here with my homies because I don't want to be lonely and only. So first up, the cat that's so cool, Mr. You're So Cool with Rob Medina. Rob Medina, what's good, Rob?
Good, man. Your segue is second to none, man.
Thanks, brother. And of course, the cat that levels us up, the blur dad himself, my brother from another mother, Mr. Glenn Lawrence. What's up, Glenn?
Only the lonely. Isn't that a song? What's going on? Good to be here.
Thanks for
excited to talk about this episode.
Thanks for taking that up after me, man. I love it. Glenn, break down the story. Let's go.
So what if episode 7, What If Thor Was an Only Child, is it's a good one. It's very, very interesting. It starts off with Odin being in Odin's sleep to recharge his battery, as one does. And then we see Frigga giving him a nice little pep talk. I think she kisses a tear off his face or something, and then she's like, and I'm out. And then she goes to party with her sisters on some other planet or world. And then we get to see Thor do what he does, which is get down and party down. Now, this is a little bit of a departure from the first two Thor movies, the Dark World and the first Thor, because we didn't get Thor as kind of like the funny, happy Thor that we got from Thor Ragnarok and some of the other movies that we've seen in them subsequently. But we do get to see Thor as we imagine him in Thor Ragnarok, a much more fun-loving Thor. He's out ready to party, and he parties so good that he's destroyed worlds. And the next world that he's partying on is Earth. It starts kind of how the first Thor started. We have Jane and Darcy hanging out in their van waiting for the anomaly that happens to take place. It happens, but it doesn't happen where they're expecting it to happen. It happens in Las Vegas, and it's very, very ominous. We're like, oh, what's about to happen? But Thor steps through the Bifrost and says, it's time to party and get down. And he unleashes one hell of a party on Earth. It spans the globe. It gets so crazy. They have to call in reinforcements in the form of Captain Marvel to stop the party. The episode is really great. Captain Marvel comes in to save the day. We get cameos from all people all over the Marvel universe. We get the Guardians of the Galaxy in there. We get the Ravagers in there. We get a little bit of everything, including Captain Marvel coming in there to whip Thor's butt, put him into place, almost like a babysitter. And so that happens. We also get to see what happens to Loki, because Loki was not taken by Odin. He was given back to his frost giant parents, which turned him into a frost giant. If you remember Loki, maybe that's why he has some of the problems that he has, because he knows he should be bigger in stature, but he's just a wee little man because he was raised by Odin and Frigga. So yeah, Thor's traveling all over the world. He's partying really hard. We get a little backstory that he's destroyed some other planets in the meantime. We get to see that because of this partying, they end up in Vegas going real hard. Jane goes hard with them. They end up, still getting together as they had in the other movies. But we also get to see Darcy get married to Howard the Duck, which I thought was hilarious. Way to bring him back into the fold, into the Marvel universe. And the story kind of progresses really, really rapidly. Captain Marvel is going tooth and nail, fighting against Thor. But in the end, like all good parties, it ends when somebody calls the parents or the parents come back into the fold and Frigga is about to backhand Thor back to Asgard. But he ends up ending the party, stopping this world from once again being destroyed. We get to see it's like a party where it just kind of permeates and it just takes over the globe. It's like an intergalactic party that Earthlings weren't ready for, and it threatens to break down the stability of the entire planet. But yeah, Captain Marvel or Frigga stops it. Captain Marvel comes back like she was the good babysitter, helping Thor out with this cover story as he cleans up Earth, as he calls it, and all is well. And this is one of the happier What If episodes. It ends on such a happy note. We get to move on out as Thor puts the world back together, and all is well, or so we thought, until we see what this season is kind of culminating in, which is the Infinity Gauntlet Ultron stepping through the portal saying, "What's popping? I came to the party. Am I late?"
Vision, Infinity Gauntlet Vision.
Yeah. It was Ultron with Vision inside. So I guess we got.
Yeah.
Ultra Vision.
It's like Ultra Vision. We got to figure out exactly how that's going to play out, how closely it's going to align with the comic. So very interesting episode. I really, really loved it. Rob, he has all the characters that were in there. He could go a little bit more in depth into each one and how they change. But I really enjoyed this episode. But we'll talk about that more when we get into the review.
All right, so I got to pull up my roster here because I have quite a few characters that we've all come across here. So you've already named quite a few of them as you were discussed here. One thing I don't know if we pointed out before in the previous reviews, that the Watcher in the last couple episodes, we're starting to see a little more color in him. So because before it was all just white, pale. Now he's black. So I wasn't sure if that's if that was something it's leading up to something that seeing that change of the character's skin color has something to do with the events that's supposed to be coming up here. So I thought that was interesting because I think it started episode 5 or something like that. I can't remember.
I don't know, but I would say I kind of been observing that as well, Rob. That's a good take. It's been an interesting observation.
Yeah. So we've got Jeffrey Wright, of course, back as the Watcher as always, and then we've got Chris Hemsworth, back as Thor, and I think this is actually his best as far as the portrayal of the character of Thor since Ragnarok. So I think that was worked out really well for this story. Natalie Portman is back as Jane Foster. That was actually the one I was surprised with because considering how she wasn't in the third one, she had a bit of a falling out, which was brought out to the public, and then now she's back in the fourth Thor film in Thor: Love and Thunder. But we got Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. Kat Dennings back as Darcy. Samuel Jackson, of course, is back in Nick Fury. Jeff Goldblum back as Grand Master, which I was actually surprised for him being in the episode too. Colby Smulders back as Maria Hill. Clark Gregg back as Agent Coulson. Frank Grillo, a pre-Crossbones Brock Rumlow, and we got Taika Waititi as Korg. Karen Gillan as Nebula is back, and then we also have Jamie Alexander back as Lady Sif. Seth Green, who voiced Howard the Duck in the very first time in Guardians of the Galaxy, was back in this one as well too. And then pretty much everyone else that we've all come to know as far as the Marvel characters are concerned are back being voiced by different actors who are voicing them again in this rendition of the show. Alexandria Daniels back as Carol Danvers, who has been in a show called Salem, which I'm not familiar with here. And then we also have Rachel House, who actually is an actress who's been back, who's in the Thor Ragnarok as Topaz. So she's back in this one. So she still remains the same. But she's in quite a few films with Taika Waititi's work in, as I mentioned before, Thor Ragnarok, Hunt for the Wilder People, which I heard is a very good movie that's all written and directed by Taika Waititi. And then we have the actress Josette Eales, I'm not sure to pronounce her last name, but she's here. She plays Frigga, and she's on the show called Covert Affairs. She was also in the movie Blended with Adam Sandler. And then we have the actor David Chen, who voices the character of Hogan. I forgot the original actor's name who plays him in the Marvel films, but he's not back to voice the character, so he's in place for him. He's done some work on Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Loud House, Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans. And then we have an actor who is actually a veteran in the Marvel and DC game with the actor Fred Tatasciore, I think I pronounced his name, who voices the character of Volstagg. He's done Hulk on more than one occasion, especially with Avengers Assembles. He's also voiced Shao Kahn in the recent Mortal Kombat Legends film, Battle of the Realms, and he's also Solomon Grundy in Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. So veteran voice actors for the most part in these characters that we've all been familiar with here. I thought this episode was a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect because I heard it was just going to be more or less a kind of like a trail off of what we've seen before, like more serious and a take on some different perspective of these characters. But now we're getting a more party time, if you will, of an episode, which I thought worked really well up until the very end, which kind of like brought us back to reality, if you will, of reminding us that there's still bigger issues out there that we've got to deal with. And this was a huge wake up call for that. So loved it for what it was. I love the way that it ended. And I don't know if it's my favorite, but it definitely is my top 3 for sure, as far as my favorites in this series.
Yeah, definitely for me, top 5, top 3, probably top 3. This was a lot of fun. I love this episode. I thought it was hilarious.
Really?
Because again, as y'all know, I was a big fan of the What If comic books, and they can go very dark, and that's what I've loved with this What If series, because they went there, and so I enjoyed that aspect of it. But also, they went very comedic as well in the What If comics. So this was absolutely hilarious. So it was cool to see that they did that with these MCU cartoons, and a lot of fun. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. It was when I first saw that it was What If Thor were an only child, was kind of curious their take on it, but they executed this wonderfully. I thought it was brilliant and hilarious. I love the just Thor being a knucklehead, and then having Captain Marvel come kick his ass a little bit was pretty good. There was some great moments. I think definitely him getting called on, his mama coming to get him at the end was probably my favorite moment, and him trying to convince everybody to help clean shit up before she gets back. What young son who has mamas can't relate with that? I could totally relate with that. That was your boy. So I had a lot of fun with this episode.
Just don't call my mama.
Right. This was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a favorite moment, y'all? Glenn?
I really enjoyed like the interplay between Thor and Loki. I really liked the entire episode. Just Thor going back, having fun. I liked when they kind of broke it down and they're talking about like, yeah, you've already destroyed other planets with your partying. And he's like, nah, that planet was it was already like on its way out. We just, threw a party for the end of the world. Like, I thought that was kind of funny. The fact that he's been going around basically party hopping different planets and destroying them as he goes. I thought that was interesting. It was a very fun episode. I like you, Kuya P. I really enjoyed the call your mama. It's like, if you really want to end this, don't fight him, call his mom, and that'll be over. But I think it's cool because in Infinity War we got that scene, which was really kind of like a touching scene when Thor got to see Frigga again, after she had been, murdered, and he gets to see her again and he cries and she like kind of understands his pain and like that, like as funny as the movie is, or, there's like some touching moments, while they're trying to do all this levity with Thor, who's like a super powerful being, can't be hurt, but really emotionally, he's like damaged on the inside and hiding it. Yeah. I thought that this was kind of a cool little throwback to that, to how much he like respects and loves his mom. And I'm always a sucker for a Dear Mama movie. So that part was really dope to me. I liked everything they did. It was cool to see him and Loki be kind of like party bros. And then at the end, when he's like, yo, Loki, I need your help. And he's like, nah, dude, this is your party. I'm
have no animosity like that we know in their current relationship, So like if they weren't in this kind of crazy relationship that they were now, that they would be complete bros. Yeah. And that's so that was really cool. Great episode. I don't know if I would put it in my top.
I think I'd put it in my top 5. I wouldn't put it in, my top 3.
So what's your top 3 then?
I still really enjoyed the last 3. I enjoyed the zombies. I enjoyed the Killmonger episode. And I hate to say it. I liked the episode with Hank Pym as murdering all the Avengers.
Yeah.
I thought that
that's
was
on my last. That's the last one for me.
Yeah, I liked it because it kind of spun the thing of like, damn, he murked, pretty much everybody. But Killmonger episode's pretty much up there, pretty badass. And the zombies episode, I really, really enjoyed. I thought they did that really well. This one's close. This was like 4. It's up there, but not quite. Although that twist at the end did make me think it's close. I kind of like what they did there. So really enjoyed it, like how I broke it down. It was fun. What about you, Kuya P? What are your
I said mine. How about let's go to Rob?
You already said
favorite moment.
Favorite moment. Yeah, well, I think Glenn pretty much covered it there. But what I liked about this episode is that you got to see more of Jane, and I thought her character was rather boring in the Marvel movies, especially the first and the second one. I didn't think she was all that interesting. So to see her in this light, I thought worked really well, where she was like smitten by Thor and had like that girlish, like I love you, and like falling for him really quickly. He's like obviously like this badass or party guy.
And Jane in between Jane and Thor.
Yeah.
That was a good
did I say it?
moment.
I was like, did I say the right name? Yeah. Jane Foster. Yeah, you got me questioning if I get to the right character now. But so I like that aspect of the relationship. I thought that was way more interesting than what we got in the movie. And for the 30 minutes we got to hang out with them and being, that oddball kind of a couple, if you will, I thought that worked really well. So I like that aspect of the character. So that would probably be my second favorite part of it, apart from like, seeing some other characters chime in and, doing their bit here and there. But otherwise, that's whatever Glenn said. I that's more my favorite thing too. But yeah.
Whatever Glenn said, just because Glenn said. He's trying to be nice with you again because you went to my team last episode with Killmonger.
No.
Rob's trying to drift to your team now.
Damn.
I love it.
Twisting it around here.
So fun episode. I think all the way around for all of us. I think. You got me thinking about my top 3. It's still Killmonger, top seed. Marvel Zombies / this episode, I think in number 2 and 3. I don't know. This was a good episode. I enjoyed the comedy in this one.
Yeah.
And then as well as in the Marvel Zombies episode. And then, it
kind of reminded me of like an 80s movie, honestly.
Star-Lord one was good too. The Star-Lord one was good too, but
it reminded me of Weird Science for some reason. You know what I mean?
This one
had that kind of feel, wild party gets out of control.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's
very fun episode. I'm just gets me psyched for the next batch, man. So there we go. There's our recap of episode 7. What if Thor were an only child? Thank you for asking us that question, Marvel. I like that, and you answered it up. Rob, how can they reach out to you and all of that?
So you all can follow me on my social media accounts on Instagram, Rob_Medina0585, on Twitter, Rob Medina0585, on Facebook, Rob Medina, and on my shows, social media accounts, Instagram, You're So Cool with Rob Medina, and on Twitter, You're So Cool WRM.
There we go. Blur Dad, Glenn Lawrence, what's good?
Oh wait, I didn't do that in this one. That was from our other episode. That was my meeting voice. If I'm falling asleep, I'll just be like, Anyway, you can find me Level Up Comedy across all your socials. If you want to really get in depth, you can check out Glenn Lawrence Laughs, Glenn Lawrence Comedy on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitters, and Blurred Dad podcast on Twitter as well. So there we go.
Glenn Lawrence Laughs. I gotta fix my templates when I
it's Glenn Levels Up. That's right.
There it is.
Levels Up. Sorry.
Okay,
I gotta fix it because I'm saying the wrong thing.
I noticed when I tagged you on my latest post of our latest post of videos that were up, the tag didn't work because I was using your old tag. I gotta update that because we're stepping up our game because we got to get better with this. I love it. All right, make sure you follow Glenn Lawrence and my brother Rob Medina. For your boy Kuya P, it's the legend Kuya P on TikTok, Twitter, and IG. Of course, over at the Nerds of Color, where I do the Show Pow Show. Those are everything the Nerds of Color Show Pow Show. And of course, with Rob and Glenn at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday, we're Nerds rule the world. There's your what if recap of what if Thor were an only child. See y'all on episode 8. We're out of here.
Peace.
Deuces.
Boom.
Good times, man. Good times.
Good shit.